The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
With so many people living longer, the fear of outliving your money becomes a reality for many of us. Will I be a financial burden? Will I outlive my money? How will I be remembered? My name is Neil Himmelstein, president of Main Street Planning Group. Please contact me by visiting mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. I will introduce you to strategies that will guarantee you will not outlive your money, that can guarantee you will not be a burden on your loved ones. Through a collaborative approach, we will uncover solutions that offer tax-efficient strategies, lifetime income, and legacy planning, choice, organization, direction, and education. That is the code we stand behind. Contact mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. And listen to me every Friday at 3 p.m. as I host the Main Street Code for Financial Success, right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. Welcome to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. I'm here every Friday at 3 o'clock. And when we talk about our code, we talk about choice, organization, direction, and education. And we help hundreds of advisors across the United States with regards to life insurance, annuities, disability, and long-term care. And we also do life settlements, but these are the things that we specialize in, and we have attorneys reach out to us, and accountants reach out to us, and other advisors on what's the best solution for your plan. And if you don't have a team of professionals behind you, we'll help you put one together. And today we're very fortunate to have with us Andrea Owen-Boyd. Say hello, Andrea.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me, Neil.
Andrea, I am so thrilled that you're here. I met Andrea through our Long Island Accounting and Financial Planning Network, and I am so impressed by you, I have to say.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So, Andrea, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you're in the financial services business. So just go ahead and you tell us about yourself.
So I've been in the financial services business about 20 years, and I realized recently that I should say I've been in this business all my life because my mom was a nurse.
Okay.
And although she was a nurse, she was extremely good with money. So it was always about saving well, putting aside money, having fun, and doing the right thing. So I decided that since life seemed pretty well being able to go to college, go on vacations, not worrying about food, shelter, or clothing or fun, I thought it would be so good to get into this business to help other people.
Terrific. Now, were you born in the United States?
So this accent that you hear here is from that country called Jamaica.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I was born in Jamaica, and I actually came here as an adult. So it's actually a second career here in the United States.
Oh, second career. What was your first career?
So I was in the business of helping businesses build, profit, grow.
Nice.
I was in the construction industry. I was in sales. I was in marketing. And as I said, I got excited about helping people with personal financial planning. So I switched over.
Excellent. Well, you know what I like about you, and besides your personality, which I love, is that many people in this business stop learning, and you have taken it upon yourself, like myself, to continually educate yourself and continually learn and develop your business skills. And I applaud you for that. And, that's how I met you, and you're such a great contributor to our group. And I applaud you for that because the world changes, right?
Yes.
So tell me, in the 20 years in the business, how many changes you've seen in your business life and your personal life?
Oh, wow. This is actually fun. Well, the fun piece, I remembered moving here, and most people like to work in the offices, just go around their desk and sit down. But I'm used to going to meet clients, going on the road, going to the businesses. So whatever you're telling me, I'm coming to you to see what's really going on. Right. So when I just came here, I knew nowhere, so I had to use MapQuest. So that's a
Oh.
big change
Oh,
because
huge.
you had to sit on the computer, put in the address, and print it, and then you go to wherever. And I
Oh.
used to get lost a lot then.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I went I was going to Brooklyn, and then when I thought I was doing pretty well, oh, this is fun, this is easy. And then I saw the LIE, because remember and I said, oh my God, I did not change lane until I saw Welcome to Manhattan.
Right.
But the thing that relates to financial planning is that you can get lost if you don't know what you're doing.
You're right. That's a good point. You know what? And I think the education today in financial is lacking. Even from the time the children in school, there's a real lack of understanding credit, how to write a check, just daily living. And we find so many youth getting into problems with credit problems and loans, and the education's not there.
The education is not there. And taking a step back with changes that you said, like everything was manual then. You had to print out the application and go to the client and get them to sign. And now it's all done electronically. You
Right.
can do. And so to me, the good part about all of that is that the operational part gets easier and easier every time. But it's an opportunity for us to connect with people, to have conversations, to teach them,
Absolutely.
for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to see what's different, and then
Absolutely.
that difference.
And the industry has changed quite a bit.
Yes.
I mean, the products change. I think the tax laws change. I mean, things are going on all the time. And I find that many people I work with rely on my brain because they've gotten lazy.
Yes.
And they don't keep up with all the changes.
Yes.
Whether it's long-term care or life insurance. Even within those two little areas, which seem to have been going on for a long time, products have changed, different ways of approaching have changed, and you continually I know it with our group, every month learn something new, as do I.
Yes.
And if we stop learning,
We're dead.
we're dead, so I appreciate that. And I want to talk about your recent endeavor where you started this whole Women, Wisdom, and Wealth series. Tell me a little bit about that.
So that would be like, you'd say, the culmination of everything I've ever done. And FAIR has kept me from actually putting this one thing out there that is, Andrea wants to help women to have access to the information, to the professionals, to the investment strategies, to the protection strategies, so that they're able to have the conversation, be able to make the decisions that will help them to generate wealth. And so it came up when it was always there. I do different things in my church. I come to different organizations. I'm always supporting events. But I said, you know what? Sometimes the events, things happen. Everybody's talking about, we want to inspire, we want to motivate, and
Right.
it's just a conversation. But I wanted us to move past the conversation. I wanted to have a platform where professionals come together, people who really want to learn and grow, people who have their money or don't have enough but want to learn, how do I manage my cash flow? How do I move from point A to point B to point C? And this series will give women that opportunity. So the first one we are having, we have an attorney, Sharon T. Hoskins, and I met her at a networking event, and I said, wow, she's fantastic.
Awesome.
I'd like her to kick this series off and talk to my clients, because one of the toughest things, they'll have money saved up, money invested, income looks good, but when you come to the point where, okay, do I have my estate plan in place? Oh,
Right.
And so that all of that came together.
Excellent. Well, I mean, quite truthfully, as we lead our lives, whether we have our business or we're working for somebody, whether we're having children, there's a lot to think about and a lot to do, and that's one of the areas that people don't have the education and go, and so I think it's very admirable you start the series. Hey, we're heading towards a break. Andrea, how do people get a hold of you? What's the best way?
So 347-229-6633 is a good way to call me. 347-229-6633.
Great. Fantastic. And you have an email address that you like people to reach out, or would you rather people just give you a call?
Just give me a call. Right?
Give her a call. And this is Neil Himmelstein. Best way to reach me, 631-647-4694. Or you could visit me at themainstreetcode.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. I'm here with Andrea Owen-Boyd, who is talking to us about her new series called Women, Wisdom, and Wealth series. I really like it. I love the concept. I love the idea. I find that a lot of times in this industry, a lot of our reps and what are talking to the men and not talking to the women. And the women are really the decision makers. Wouldn't you find that to be true?
That's so true. And what is also important why I'm doing this series is there's a saying that $80 trillion, and I keep seeing the numbers going up and up and up, will be transferred to the next generation. And a lot of the people will be managing this large sum of money will be women. And so while women would like to speak to women, or men would like to speak to women, it's very critical now that women learn to have the conversation about wealth, about money. And I want to add something. What is happening is when we talk about the transfer, we're talking about over 12,000 baby boomers are turning age 65 each day. That's the number I saw. But what comes with that? What comes with that is not just a number. It's talking about long-term care. It's talking about retirement. It's talking about, will I have enough income? It's talking about, how will I pass on this wealth? Do I have enough? And I want to pass on some. It's talking about caring for an ailing spouse. As we talk about women are living longer. And so what happens if the man goes before and the man had always been managing the money?
Oh, it's a big problem.
And you know what? Being a female advisor, one would say, Andrea, don't even talk about that. You just run with it. But it's a great industry, and it's also good for our men to know that. I hear that it's a high percentage of women who, once their husband passes away, they switch the advisor like within a year.
That's correct. Absolutely.
And so we need to empower women. We need to be talking to women.
I agree.
We need to sit at the table, not just leaving the husband to do everything or the male to do everything, but to have a conversation and include women. And my job is to get women confident enough, understand enough, even something simple as the beneficiary. You started a life insurance policy when you just started working, and now you're turning 65. Did you review it? You might have put your mom on as the beneficiary, or your cousin or somebody, and now, oh my God, did I make a switch there? So, those are all the things that I see.
You bring up a very good point, and I've talked a lot about that in the show. Beneficiary designation. People don't realize that with a life insurance contract and their retirement and their bank accounts, quite often it doesn't go by will, it doesn't go by trust, it goes by beneficiary designation. Now, I recently ran into a situation, well, I've run into it, I'd say, on a regular basis, where one of the spouses, let's say, is the beneficiary of a retirement plan, and the beneficiary passes away, but the remaining spouse never changes the beneficiary designation on their retirement plan or their life insurance. All of a sudden, they pass away and go, what happened to this whole retirement plan? Well, the spouse was the beneficiary. Well, they had 3 kids. Well, he had 2 kids before he got married. He had 2 kids with his second wife. Where does that money go? It now goes to the courts. Okay? Or, it just doesn't automatically go, well, this is where I said it should go. It goes to where the courts see. Or this happens all the time. So beneficiary designation is very important. The other thing I see is people get divorced and they leave their ex-spouse as the beneficiary.
Yes.
And they have a new life, or they have one child as their beneficiary or as a secondary beneficiary, and they've had 2 or 3 children since that. So very important. Beneficiary is a huge thing when it comes to your life insurance or annuities or your retirement, and that has to be reviewed on a regular basis.
Yes, and
Right.
and because I've seen, it could be something that you do every single day, every single conversation. When last have you reviewed your life insurance, your annuity? Look at the bank account. So what's going on the benefits at your job? So that's one part of the conversation. The other part of the conversation that I had a friend who wanted me to speak to her son about saving and investment, but she did not complete her estate plan, and the next thing I know, she has dementia. Young woman, 67 years. Yes, terrible. And now it's siblings that they love her dearly, but in addition to grieving, now they have to be worrying about will her estate, will her retirement income, will whatever she has be enough to take care of her. And I wanted to share one more with you.
Please.
I had another client who was beautiful, did everything right, but was terrified about taking care of the estate plan. So she passed away. And then now they have to be worrying about probate for all the different properties.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we had talked about that in one of our meetings, because we talked about property being, in an investment properties being in an LLC, and you'd said she had all her properties in one LLC, and the complications because, this happens. And it happens with very wealthy people, and it happens with people with, just moderate wealth, that problems occur because the planning wasn't done or updated. I'm working with somebody right now who was in our business, was a planner, but did not accommodate for all his beneficiaries. He did have 2 children with special needs, and he had a special needs trust, but he didn't want to update his documents, nor did he ever fund the special needs trust. So, although you may set up documents correctly, things changed in his life, in his family's life, and things change, and they have to be updated. And when you're sitting with a planner as opposed to a salesperson, they're going to look at everything, and some people get nervous. Why are you looking at that? Why are you looking at that? Because everything you do comes into play. So if you're just sitting with somebody that says, oh, you need $1 million of term insurance, or you're calling online 1-800 I'm going to buy this insurance, and think that you're doing right by your family, you could be hurting your family dramatically by not sitting by with an expert like Andrea or myself. I mean, that's the reality of why we do what we do.
It's the amazing reality. And every time I go to a training program. Like I go to 3 or 4 every year, and I just sit to listen to changes in the law, different approaches, and I realize, oh my goodness, I get so excited when I come back and I call my clients, and it just reminds me, oh man, you have this client, you need to share this information, you need to review that, because you want them to be in an optimal position.
Absolutely. Listen, what I love about you, Andrea, is your passion for the business and your ability to work with people, and it's just fantastic. Andrea, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach you?
The best way is 347-229-6633. 347-229-6633.
Fantastic. And this is Neil Himmelstein. I'm here every Friday at 3. If you miss an episode, you can catch me on Spotify, catch me on Apple. Go to themainstreetcode.com where I have my past episodes. And again, the best way to reach me, 631-647-4694. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.